Years of sewage spills. Thames Water faces a fine of more than £100 million after an investigation into its performance. Now, as we've been hearing, the water regulator has announced huge fines for 3 water companies for failing to manage sewage spills. The largest fine of more than £100 million goes to Thames Water for historic sewage spills. The company says it's working hard to halt untreated discharges into rivers, but the Environment Secretary says there has to be accountability. Here's our correspondent, Tom Edwards.
The beautiful River Chess in the Chilterns, but this rare chalk stream suffers from this, sewage overflows. It's meant to be clear. This year, on 130 days for 2,600 hours, it's had sewage in it. Campaigners say it's illegal. It's not been nice living next to it.
It's a beautiful location. I mean, it's unsurpassed in the local area, I think, just here. But we've got this overbearing problem with the sewerage coming and going throughout the last year.
They've been fined today, Thames Water. Do you think that's going to improve the situation, that it will stop what's going on?
Well, you'd like to think that it would make the point with the company and make sure they weren't paying out dividends unnecessarily.
These streams and the sewage all feeds eventually into the Thames. And today the regulator said Thames Water had failed to adequately invest in and maintain their networks, leading to repeated releases of sewage. Thames Water had been fined £104 million. The maximum amount they could have been fined was 10% of sales. This was 9%, which indicates the severity of the offences. This will now be put out for consultation. The problem here is this sewage works in Chesham. It is being upgraded, but at the moment it can't cope.
This is a really big success story, this part of the river. We're seeing otters in here now, we're seeing water voles in here now. Again, creatures we didn't see 20 years ago.
Upstream, this is what the river should look like.
Overall, I'd rather that the money was being spent on improving their facilities, making sure that this doesn't happen in the future. I would also like to see some of that money being used to compensate the people that have been impacted by all of this. We've got farmers that can't graze their ground this year. We've got neighbours that have had to put up with awful smells and plagues of flies, all sorts of things.
Bills shouldn't be affected by the fine. However, under a different mechanism, the regulator is deciding how much bills should go up by.
So this money comes from investors. So these are companies that earn returns, and so this will mean lower returns for investors. We set the prices they can charge customers, and we're very clear they cannot recover fines from customers.
And this fine was for last year. Sewage overflows this year have been far worse. Thames Water says it does take the matter seriously and is taking action to improve river health. Many, though, including here in the Chilterns, think the whole system is broken. Tom Edwards, BBC London.
Well, as you'd expect, we have invited representatives from Thames Water to appear on our programme today and several times over the last few months. Sadly, they haven't accepted our offer yet. So, Thames Water, if you're watching tonight, this is another invitation to come on our programme and a chance for you to speak to your millions of customers who really do deserve answers.